Hey, this is Matt from RV Travel TV. Good to be back with you. You know, one of the things that you should never be without in your RV is some kind of saw, whether it's a folding saw or a hand saw or something, because you never know when you might want to cut some firewood if you're allowed to have an outside fire. Or in my case, and I know that everyone has done this before, you've probably pulled in just a little bit too close to a tree and, you know, tried to get your slide out, and you might need to prune a little bit of the tree. Now, I'm not advocating that you prune campground trees at all, but in my case, I pulled in pretty close to a tree. I got my slide out all the way extended, and it got really windy, and the tree is brushing against my slide out, and it's making a noise at night. So I might want to trim a couple of little small branches. I'm not advocating trimming campground trees, that's what you're going to get out, but you can use a folding saw for a lot of other stuff in your RV. So what I did is I went to Harbor Freight and I found the One Stop Gardens 8-inch folding pruning saw, and I used a coupon and I got this saw for $4.50 out the door. And for that price, if it only works for a few camping trips, or you break it, or it goes dull in a few months, you can always find another coupon and you can always get another one for another $4.50. So I'm going to take it out behind the RV, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that we're going to prune off. I'm not going to cut anything away from the RV, but I'm going to show you how this works, just in case you might want to get one and carry it in your RV kit. So let's take this sucker out back and see how it works. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. You can see that here's the slide out of my RV, and here's an oak tree. Nice big bushy oak tree. Well, I got plenty of clearance from the oak tree, but there's a couple of overhanging limbs, and you can see someone has already broken off some limbs. And I'm not going to trim any of these because I'm sure somebody would get on me about trimming campground trees. But if you were in a situation where you had something that was overhanging, that was about to fall on your RV, you could use this little folding saw to trim these off. Now see, this is barely scraping it, and it's not causing any damage at all to the RV. So I'm not going to trim any branches away from this today, but what I am going to do is, you know, and there's a few overhanging, so it's not really touching, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm in the woods behind the RV, and I'm going to trim off some dead stuff, and I'm going to show you how the saw works. So stay with me. Okay, looks like we got a lot of dead stuff right here, so let's see how it works. Okay, pretty easy, nice clean cut. Really cuts pretty well, and this is just, these are totally dead branches, so all right, still not too bad. Let's get another one here. This one keeps hitting me in the face, so it's going to get trimmed. All right, pretty quick work. Here's a thicker one. Let's go down here. Not bad. For some light trimming jobs or cutting some firewood, this is really not a bad option for $4.50. I think this is going to come along with me on all of my trips because you never know where you might need it. So once again, it's a nice folding saw, folds up nice, and it will not come out until you press that trigger. So there you go, the Harbor Freight 8-inch folding pruning saw. Let's go wrap this up. Okay, what did we learn today? Well, we learned for casual RV use that our $4.50 8-inch folding pruning saw from Harbor Freight is really a pretty good option. And I think that everybody should carry some kind of saw in your RV, because you never know when you might want to cut some firewood if you're in an area that allows outdoor fires, or you get a little bit too close to a tree, or there's some and I'm not advocating that anyone trim campground trees or live trees, but if you got in a situation where you needed a saw, this is a pretty good saw. Doesn't take up a lot of room. It's not very heavy. Extends with an audible click and retracts with an audible click, and you're right in there. So for $4.50, this is a pretty good option. If you lose it, or it goes dull, or it breaks in a few months, another $4.50 will get you another one. So this is going to be a really good addition to my RV kit if I need it. Me and my wife intend to travel to some state park areas where we might find some dead stuff, and I might be able to trim it up, make us a nice little romantic campfire. You never know. So once again, with my review of the Harbor Freight 8-inch folding pruning saw. This is Matt from RV Travel TV, and I will see you on the road.